And of course, we discussed this earlier. Chuba Hubbard landed a 4-year, $33.2 million extension with a strong start to the season with the Carolina Panthers. They're running it back, man. Chuba and Bryce Young going to get the start versus the Giants. That's a Germany game, so it'll be 9:30 a.m.
That's the punishment game, as Pizzola said, but I will be betting that because I like the 9:30. Let's see what the line is. You want to guess?
Oh,
Giants and Carolina in Germany.
Giants 2.5.
I saw. I have it up here, Hawk.
Giants 6.5. But I'm betting the Giants. I just think Bryce Young is terrible. Last week aside, I think he's terrible.
And they're already a bad team overseas. But the Giants are.
And I think he's probably a nervous international traveler.
He's dehydrated, throwing up in the bathroom.
Yeah, just like, they can't acclimate to the food and just.
There's no way Bryce Young has TSA pre-check, right? Like, there's just
no. Everything's overwhelming to him.
Well, give it to him. He has to travel with his parents. He needs a sponsor to get him TSA pre-check.
The pilot gives him the little wings on the way out of the plane. Good luck, buddy.
Coming up here, big man. You want to sit in the pilot chair?
Funny.
Guys, one of the most polarizing.
Is this your first time flying alone?
Come on, big fella. Hey, do y'all thank the pilot when he pops his head out when you're leaving? You say thank you to him?
Thank you or like good job.
You say something?
I always say something to the flight attendants. I always make eye contact and let them know I appreciated everything they've done. Do I say something to the pilot? Probably. It's like meeting a celebrity. If the pilot, if the pilot opens the door at the end, it's like a celebrity run-in because it's like you're like, wow, that's. You ever do it on a cruise ship? You see the captain just walking around in the dining room. You're like, my God, captain is here. like everybody's elbowing each other. Oh, captain is here. Captain's here. Like it's like a big celebrity moment.
Driving this damn boat. But no, I do. Every time I flight attendants, I always say, I appreciate what you do. I appreciate what you do to the flight attendants. But one of these flights I was on recently, the pilot was standing there, and he doesn't usually come out, and he's standing there, and the lady in front of him is like, thank you so much. And I walked up and I was like, what's up, big dog? And just walked off. And I was like, do I thank him? That's like, he's at work.
Right. I think you thank them for their service.
To do their job?
Yeah. Thank you for your service.
To fly to Houston?
That's correct.
I think I'm going to do the what's up, big dog from now on.
How many pictures do you have with the captains on all the cruises you've been on, Solana?
Oh, man. I'm a sucker for the captain's dinner.
I am too. I have. I think my favorite picture from me and Lori from our honeymoon is me, Lori, and the captain.
What do you just go eat with him?
Yeah, but
they do a captain's dinner where he's at a table eating during the meal that you're at. You can't get an invite to this table. Listen, you really got to know people, but you're in the room, and so you try to walk past a couple times, see if he'll make eye contact with you, and then you give him or something. I don't know if that's some. Like blow the truck horn because I think they can do that up there or whatever. And then the next time you hear the ship's horn, you're like, oh, that was for me.
Y'all are crazy.
It's like royalty, man. It really
is. It is.
You do it to a bus driver?
No, because they don't have a bus driver dinner even on the route.
No, but I believe anybody who's in control of your life at any moment
Right.
deserves a thank you. For example, amusement park. The person pressing the button that sends the ride off.
Yeah.
When you get back to the ride where it
Yeah.
begins, say thank you. Really appreciate that.
I like to take a picture with them too, but that's more for legal purposes because these carnies are wanted. I can go immediately to the FBI website and try to match up pictures, get a reward.
So the 19-year-old that just smoked
Gig
the
economy.
joint, just smoked the joint with braces on. You speak to him?
Oh yeah,
always.
Yeah.
Yeah, always.
Or if you go on like the one that goes, I forget what it's called. It goes forward real fast, then backwards real fast. But it's the one they blast music while you're. Oh, Music City Express. That's what it's called up in the Jersey Shore. I like to say hey, nice music choice. It doesn't matter what it might be. Black Crows. Trust me, it's always something that you imagine the guy would be listening to because it's the guy who's got no regrets on his chest from no regrets from what's that movie? We're the Millers, I think.
We're the Millers. Yeah,
they all look like that guy, and everything they play is it belongs in like a Camaro, like a T-top Camaro.
You let them know, like, good set, man.
Yeah, yeah, because they just played a set for you.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, good set, man. The way you went from Zeppelin into Billy Joel, that was nice.
Yeah.
4596. The old white dudes making fun of me again. You know they're calling it on you.
Nah, I let them know because I'm the audience. Like they're not playing Zeppelin for my kid.
I talk to the flight attendants, I talk to the servers, but the drivers, I think that's just kind of that's your thing. Do your thing.
I would imagine the pilot walks out of his cabin to be thanked.
That's a moment. That's a moment. Like I would imagine he probably stays in the cockpit, keeps the door closed if he feels it was a bumpy flight.
Right.
Like I didn't do my best, and let me sit through the exit here, and let me get my thoughts. He puts that bird up in the air, has a smooth flight, no air pockets, no turbulence. Puts that bird back down on the ground. I'm gonna take a little curtain call.
He shows up for the post-game presser.
Right.
Because he's had
a good performance. He's on Broadway. He's coming out there for the encore.
Yeah.
So say thank you to I'm gonna start saying thank you to him.
Yeah.
Sometimes if I'm getting off the plane and they haven't come out of the cockpit, I'll knock on the door. I'll knock on the cockpit door. Yeah. Everything okay in here? Great flight. Don't worry about that 4 minutes of turbulence. You put the sign on real quick. We were all in our seats, and you got through it perfectly. Good job, Sully.
You beat on the cockpit door, huh?
Yeah.
Your ass is getting tased. You about to get tased.
When they put the cart out, the flight attendant puts the cart in front of the door because the pilot wants to come out and go to the bathroom. That's when I immediately line up right at that cart. I get right to where they don't want. Like, I'm here. I'm behind it, but here. What am I gonna do? I put on my Mike Singletary eyes, and I keep them off guard a little bit.
So they're on their P's and Q's.
Yeah, listen, you can get lazy.
You want to give old Sylvia a hard time.
Nah, but sometimes flight attendants, what drives me nuts is if you sit in the aisle, every now and then, like you kind of you're leaning on the handrest, and maybe your elbow or your shoulder might be a little bit in the aisle, but nobody's walking by, everybody's sitting down. Here comes a flight attendant, and she wants to give you the old hip thrust to kind of let you know this is her space.
Right.
Oh,
hey, you could have walked around my shoulder. You didn't. You didn't need to make contact with me. You could have just asked me to please give you some extra space. I don't like that.
Right.
That's a bad move.
They're going to put their hip on that shoulder.
You say something under your breath?
Sometimes. Yeah.
Excuse you.
Let her know.
The shoulder.
Excuse me, sir. Nothing.
Did that today. Honest to God. Open up the door at the gym. 2 older ladies. They're having a conversation. Probably didn't even realize I waited there, held the door open for them. Neither of them said thank you. And I whispered under my breath, "You're welcome."
Good for you.
Taught them a lesson.
They're still thinking about that.
Your weather from the Demesman and Dover Law Firm. Call them 866-954-MORE. YourAccidentAttorneys.com. They didn't speak English though, which they probably.
Sure. So you said that in Spanish, actually, under your breath.
Yeah. They're not.
Yeah.
Free consultation.
I also like to say sometimes when you get onto the plane, they keep the cockpit door open, and the pilots, they're going through their pre-flight checklist and whatever. And a lot of times I like to, look in and I go, "Hey, fellas or ladies, 2024. Hey, anything goes wrong, I got it."
Oh, they're gonna tase you. Leave
Well, but
people
you know
alone.
that I watch air disasters, so
I know. Leave them alone.
I got it. I got it, and that makes them feel comfortable. They actually have an easier flight, probably, in my opinion.
No, they don't. They call up Sylvia and say, "Watch the guy in 3F. He's crazy."
Because if things go south, he's got us.
You're gonna end up on the no-fly list.
He should end up on the no-fly list, Jimmy. I like to leave him alone. Let him lock in. It's like a pitcher. You don't talk to a pitcher when he's up. You leave him alone.
Yeah, that's what I like to do too. Almost like a no-hitter. I'll call the flight attendant over if the flight's going perfectly, and I call the flight attendant over. I go, "Hey, can you pass a message to the pilot for me? Tell him this flight has been perfect."
just throw him off a little bit.
No, I want him to keep doing what he's doing. So I go, "Hey, can you call in a message to the cockpit, please? This has been a perfect flight, and we can't see anything going wrong from here."
I'll fly with you.
Would be a phenomenal feature. You could just ping a flight attendant, some sort of mechanism to talk you and the pilot. You have a question? If I have a question,
Right.
Bus driver, I should be able to ask the bus driver, what's the difference between a pilot?
Sure. Ryan at Funky Buddha says one of his employees was a flight attendant, and she says they absolutely purposely hit people with the cart in the aisle.
Yeah. Telling you.
Yeah, it's a flex.
I can see that. Yeah, why you flexing on me?
Well, you've got your space. I've got my space. If you're, infringing on my space, and I've got this big old blocking dummy that I'm pushing down the thing, you're going to pay for it.
Like the situation at hand, you see that these two big people are next to me, and we can't all fit in this little 6-foot space.
I got to worry about the cart. You worry about yourself.
Little linebackers in the middle. I'm like, hey, why don't you get an aisle or a window, linebacker?
Your weather.
And the person in the middle thinks they get both armrests.
Oh, I hate that.
Get armrests.
I like to bring a big carry-on bag, and then I tell them, by the way, I'm keeping this on my lap the entire flight. All right, come on, we got to take it.
This lady keep elbowing me. Then she wants to look at my closed captions.
I wonder if they would warn someone that, if I really told a flight attendant, "Can you pass this message to the pilot? This has been a great flight." You think that would cause alarm, right?
Past tense?
Yeah. No. Or this seems it's been a great flight. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna get tased.
Red alert.
You better make sure your heart is right before you start these shenanigans. because they gonna tase your ass.